The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everybody, Jeff Hirsch here as we kick off just a minute past the top of the hour. I'm super excited for what you guys are going to see today and really what we're going to talk about in this special presentation. I've got somebody with me who will come out here in just a second, but today's really about like getting your foot in the door and really having an amazing opportunity to just kick off the conversation in the right way when you're going to talk to a business owner. And I'm not going to get too far into that right now, but you're in the right spot today because we're going to make a huge impact for your business and your agency in the way of just having conversations on a daily basis that you never would have had the opportunity to have had before. Now, before we get started, we got people that are still filing in as we go, and I know we kind of maxed out the registration, and we had some folks that we had to send like some link to and things like that. So we're going to let a couple minutes go by as we get those folks in the door to get in there. But while we're doing that, let me know where you guys are actually calling in from and where you're at right now. I'm currently still in Cabo San Lucas and don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon, as this being my primary residence now. However, I'm getting to go to Mexico City in about 5 hours from now, 5.5 hours. My wife and I are heading to Mexico City for the weekend, which is really cool. And it's kind of the opportunity where, you know, we wouldn't have done that if we lived in Arizona, but now that we live here, we're gonna be able to take it from there. So let me know where you guys are calling in from, chat and all that stuff. I'm gonna open up the question box and see. We got, hey, Anthony, Arizona, got Poughkeepsie, New York for Kip. Harry, it's a product which we'll talk about for both myself and Joe in a little bit. We got Steve from Salt Lake City. So Harry, I think you were on the call Tuesday with us. What are the taxes like in Mexico? Honestly, I'm a US citizen. So I've got some stuff that I can take advantage of, like up to 112 to 120K a year if I'm here outside of the US most of the year, that I can use as tax-free. But I was actually just talking to my CPA 2 hours ago, maybe an hour and a half ago, a little bit about that. Somebody said they're in California as well. So, and that's funny that you put it that way. You guys have a great opportunity today, and you're in the right spot of where you should be for the growth of your business. And some of you guys may have seen this on our Home Server Superstars call on Tuesday. Maybe you saw Joe and I release something a couple days ago. But before I go any further and talk through the product, I think I want to give you guys a little bit of background of like how this came to be and really what the software is all about. And we're going to show you today, we're essentially going to underpromise and overdeliver of how you can get 3 highly qualified prospects to reply to you every single day. If that sounds interesting, if you want to learn how to get 3 highly qualified prospects, like super high qualified to reply to you, give me a 1 in the chat right now. I just want to make sure that you're all kicking alive, all that good stuff. So people are talking to us as we go. And we're going to do this in less than 30 minutes of total effort. If you drink a cup of coffee in the morning or a cup of tea, maybe read the paper, check your emails real quick before you run to the office or scrolling on your phone, give me a 1 in the chat, because you're going to be able to do something in that short period of time that's going to be truly impactful for your business. And without any further ado, before I get any further into this, I'm going to have Joe switch a slide here. I'm going to introduce my partner in this whole thing and in the presentation today of what we're doing. He's pointing at me in the slides. Obviously, I'm Jeff Hirsch on the left. This is Joe Troyer. If you guys don't know him, you've been under a rock on my list. He's a good friend of mine for the past decade or so. We've run mastermind groups together as president and vice president. And, I'll let Joe tell you a little bit about how we got here today and why we're so excited to be on the call with everybody live.
Everybody, Joe Troyer, super excited to be here. Thanks, Jeff, for that glowing intro. And man, it has been a long time. I was thinking about this morning. I think it's literally somewhere between 9 and 10 years. Yeah, running mastermind groups, being part of mastermind groups, watching you grow businesses and sell businesses and grow your family. And I remember the first time we did business together, I had no idea who you were. And like, there's this launch happening, and I feel like the entire marketplace is just like buzzing about it. Everybody's talking about it. And that was your localizer leads tool. I'm curious, anybody on here pick up the localizer leads tool back in the day? If so, that means like you're an OG. Give me a 2 in the chat. Do we have any like OGs in the room? So I'll never forget that tool like took the whole market by storm, right? It was an awesome lead gen tool, and Jeff put it out and it was cheap, right? Like it was penny on the dollars compared to everybody else. And it was just a great deal for the marketplace. It was a great deal for everybody promoting it. And it was just like a win-win. And I know it was a big win for Jeff. They had thousands of agencies using it in a really, really short amount of time. So fast forward to today. And yeah, Jeff and I try to speak every week or two or so, keep in touch, talk about what's happening in our lives, in our businesses, challenges we're having, wins we're having, and help each other through it, kind of mastermind one-on-one, if you will. And it was somewhere between 4 and 5 months ago. We're on one of these calls, and Jeff hit me with an idea, right? He hit me with a thought, and I was mesmerized, right? I knew that if we could get this right, that it would change the game for marketing agencies and marketers like you guys all on the call, and literally something that could produce and get results that none of us have ever seen before when it comes to prospecting. So fast forward to today, and we're going to be letting you guys kind of peek behind the curtain and share with you, as Jeff alluded to earlier, how to get at least 3 highly qualified prospects to reply to you every day with less than 30 minutes of effort. Our dream, folks, right, has come true, and I am just super excited to share it with you. So Jeff, why don't you kind of bring them up to speed on the process? What happened, in the last 4 months? And then I'll come in and I'll really cover, the software and the automation part here in a little bit.
Awesome. I'm happy to do that. And I'm actually excited to tell this part of the story as we go through, because this is something that, as I was talking to my clients and agencies, and we were talking about that tool, Joe and I, like I said, talk about things on a regular basis, at least every other week, probably weekly, if not more. And we talk about like, what's one of the biggest struggles that our clients and our students see, and it's leads, right? So give me a me in the chat if you struggle to find the high quality leads daily, right? Anybody can go on and buy a list or whatever. Just give me a me in the chat if maybe you struggle just a little bit, right, to find high quality leads. And I'm talking those that are qualified for your offers or what you've been set up, right? We got a lot of me's coming to the chat right now. Thanks to the guys that are typing in, got me, absolutely right, me. Cool. So here's what we're gonna do. And now the delay from GoToWebinar comes in. I got 100 meetings that just came in. So we're going to break that cycle today, all right? So here's what we're going to cover today. Live on this call, we're going to reveal to each and every one of you how to target and identify high quality leads, right? That's a key factor for you. Then how to position yourself for credible outreach. A lot of folks have the imposter syndrome where they don't feel like they come with any credibility when they talk to a business owner. We're going to solve that problem today as well, so that you get a reply and you come from a position of authority. We're talking how to leverage automation for pinpoint accuracy of the leads that you're looking for. And then we're talking about how to take advantage of a very special opportunity that we're going to present to you guys live on the call. Now, as we go through and we talk a little bit, I want to make sure that we understand that we're all on the same page. I'm going to ask you a question. The question is this. What do you believe is the single most important digital asset to a business, right? So I'll repeat that so you guys can type in the chat, right? What do you believe for your agency or for your business or as a consultant to local businesses is the single most important digital asset that a business needs to pay attention to? Now, Harry, you already have this, and you typed in GBP. Somebody just typed in list. Somebody typed in website. We can talk to that website, right? Website as well. Google Business Profile, right? We said, hey, what's up from Palm Bay Marketing Agency? Hey, what's up, Antonio from there? Google Business Profile. Email, it's come in. Customer list, right? Got a lot of different variations of this coming in, but a lot of folks are typing in Google My Business, Google Business Profile, because you can build a list from that. You can connect to the business's website from there, right? It is a free asset that every single business gets from there. A lot of folks out here, Google Business Profile. Yes. I'm not going to talk about that, JJ. That's a funny one, though, as you go. So here's the deal. Every single business needs to have a Google Business Profile, right? It's highly important for them to have this, and this is the single most important asset for any small business that's actually actively in business. And we're running this by the numbers, right? Why is this the Google Business Profile the most important thing for a business? Well, first of all, 97% of folks learn about a company online, right? And what are they doing? They're performing, in most cases, a Google search, right? 84% of those searches are known as discovery searches, or they're typing in near me. They're looking for a business in their local area. And 8 out of 10, 80% of searchers that are running that search take some sort of action, right? Whether they're going to get a quote, they're looking to start a chat, they're going to the website to find out more information, they're picking up the phone and dialing, 8 out of 10 are taking some sort of action. And then almost half, 46% of all searches have local intent, which means that they're looking for a business in their local proximity. 9 out of 10 are looking for some basic information on the business so they can contact them. What are their hours? Do they have the service that I'm looking for? And 2/3 of folks have used Google Business Profile for the contact information of that business, whether it be the website, phone number, email, outreach information for that particular company. Now that's just the Google profile itself. Let's talk to one of the most important factors of that Google Business Profile, which are ratings and the number of reviews. And we're going to run this by the numbers. I'm not sure that a lot of you guys knew this, but the average number of reviews across all small businesses averages out to about just over 3 dozen reviews on a small business page, right? So the average number is about 3 dozen, right? 90% of folks read those reviews for purchasing, and this is a great percentage right here. 1/5, 21% see reviews just as important as search rankings. Why? Because 1/5 of folks say that the overall ranking is important to them. So reviews are just as important, exactly 21%, as where the position is. So you can be in a position 3, 4, 5, not need to be number 1, but if you have more reviews or the best reviews, those individuals are going to talk to you, right? And then here's something that's highly important, the sweet spot of trust, right? We'll call it the sweet spot of trust, between 4.2 to 4.5 stars. That is the window where the businesses are looked at as the most trusted, because they're not, firewall fives, right? They don't have 450 5-star reviews. They have some things, right? They're a real person, they're a real business, and it's how they react to those reviews that makes the difference for those folks. In addition to that, the average, now we just talked about the average number on a profile is 39. Look at this number, 112. This is the average number of expected reviews when somebody looks at a business. I tell you right now, when my wife wants to go to dinner, want to use a new dentist in town, want to go get the tires changed, she looks at the number of reviews, right, as well as the overall rating. So there's a huge gap between 39 and 112 that you could help fill if you knew that and were able to talk to those businesses about the deficiency in number of reviews of their business, right? Because only 10% of people filter for only 5-star reviews. 4.2 to 4.5 is that sweet spot. And this has been around for the last almost decade now. 85% of people view reviews the same as personal recommendations. That's basically like Joe telling me to go use his CPA because of X, Y, and Z because I read the reviews that are on there. People trust reviews, right? Now, let's take these stats to define who your ideal prospect is, right? You want to be looking and going out there and finding the type of business owners that you can quickly find the pain point on. They lack certain items on their Google Business Profile. Maybe they don't have the rating, they're just a 3.9 and they have 40 reviews, right? But you quickly be able to find, based on those stats, some of the pain points. How do you get the attention and open up a non-salesy dialogue? This is where talking with some of the folks in my groups and some of the things like that of like, hey, we want to reach out, but how many of you guys, give me a 4 in the chat right now, if you've reached out to a business and immediately they put the wall up, or maybe you don't quite know how to start that conversation where they don't like instantly hang up on you, or they're not necessarily sure, are you pitching me on something or who are you talking to, right? Their 4s are coming in the chat. Yeah, absolutely, we all have this, right? 4, 4, 4, right? So here's the deal. You want to be able to reach out and confirm and make them aware of what's going on in their business. But how would you get in front of them, right? You found this business that has some deficiency on their Google Business Profile, and you want to basically make them aware of it, and you want to confirm that this is actually them. Like, how would you get in front of them? And how many times you have to reach out before they actually reply back to you, or you move them into your sales cycle, right? This is a huge problem for a lot of digital agencies. And the magical number of touches required right now is about 8, right? That is what we found, and it's a magical number. Now, normally you see about 7 to 11 touches, and it can be upwards of 20. Imagine that, having to reach out to a prospect over the course of 3, 4, 5 weeks, hitting those 7 to 11 to 15 touches before they actually say, yeah, let's have a conversation and go from there. And then by the time you have that conversation, you may often sound maybe a little too salesy, right? Because you're excited, you actually got them on the phone, you booked an appointment, right? And then the prospect's barrier is likely up. So here's the deal. I'm going to show you guys how to use my "is this" question to shorten the sales cycle and to actually get them on the phone relatively quickly. So who here wants to skip the line and compress the sales cycle, right? If you want to skip the line and compress the sales cycle, give me a Y or a yes in the chat right now. If you'd like to get it shorter than those 8 touches, shorter than the 20, shorter than 3, 5 weeks of following up, and you're talking phone calls, emails, just reaching out in DM, right? How many of you guys would like to skip the line, right? We all like to skip. We don't like line skippers, but we like to be the person to be VIP, red velvet rope, and compress that sales cycle overall. Get the let's go, yes, 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 whys. Awesome. All right. How do you do that? How do you solve that problem, right? Here's how you solve that problem. You use reciprocity and authority. These are the 2 key words that you're going to be using here moving forward to get your foot in the door, to help yourself have those conversations in a non-salesy way to help you close those deals. Because we're going to help you position yourself for credible outreach. That's the key word, right? Credible outreach. Now, here's what we're looking for, right? We're going to do this manually. I'm going to go through the entire process. I'm going to pull up Google because I'm looking for Google business profiles, right? So I look for businesses in my local area. I'm going to look for them look for their Google profile and look for these key components, right? I'm going to see if they're claimed or not, right? Is this business claimed, right? Do they have a get a quote button, right? So if they're a home service company or companies that should do quotes or estimates, do they have that button? Do they have a chat button, right? I was chatting with a restaurant the other night and booked my appointment through there because they didn't answer the phone, but they answered the chat. Do they have an overall review rating that's in the window of 4.2 to 4.5 or maybe higher? Because if they're less than that, then I need to help get them up, right? You have that opportunity. The number of reviews. We talked about the average being 39. That's average, right? The expectation is 112. If they don't have at least 100 plus reviews, this is a key business that I can go after and I can pitch this to them, right? Plus photos on their profile. Are they actively posting on their Google business profile? So what we're doing is we're actually out there looking for the right leads, right? We want to pull them in like a magnet, right? This is not a spray and pray technique, right? I'm not looking for the major corporations that are out there. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for the smaller operations that I can actually have a massive effect on their business. And in some cases, they actually use a mobile phone, right? I'm looking to be a lead sniper. So if they have their mobile phone as their primary contact, I can actually be a lead sniper and get direct to the business owner. Because who am I truly looking to talk to? In any sort of sales conversation, it's the decision maker. That is the individual that I would like to deliver my sales message to, right? So typically, you get to a business, they've got a landline, they've got a gatekeeper that you've got to figure out how to get past, and you're going to play that whole game, right? Or maybe they have an office VoIP number, right? They have some sort of call-in system that they're using that you then got to go through and navigate that web to get past them. Yes, some businesses still have a fax machine. If you send them something, yeah, it's likely going in the trash. What I want to find is I want to find the businesses that on their Google business profile have listed a mobile phone number, right? My goal is to speak to the owner. If there is a mobile phone on the Google business profile, you're most likely going to get the business owner themselves on the other side of that phone number. Now, how do I do that? How do I speak directly to the business owner if I'm doing this manually and going through? I go to a site like phonevalidator.com. I can put in the phone number of that business like you see here, hidden search. It's free to run the first couple searches to find out, is it a cell phone, or is it a landline, or what is it? And I'm going to go qualify to see if that phone number is actually a cell phone. Because after I figure out that it is a cell phone, this is a business that I found deficiencies in their Google business profile, things that I can fix quickly or make them aware of, I then can send them a text message, right? I send them a simple SMS message first to qualify to see, is this actually the business? And then call the damn lead. Basically pick up the phone, call them, and have the conversation when they're ready to have that conversation. And you can get to that very, very quickly when you're reaching out to their mobile phone, because you want to have direct conversations. The more direct conversation that you're able to have, the more closings you're going to have, right? Imagine talking direct to the business owner, not the office manager, not the person that has to get approval or the red tape or just put you into the black hole, right? More direct conversation with that business owner equals more closings, right? And you do that by leaning in with reciprocity and authority, because when you lead with reciprocity and authority, that leads to credibility, right? Now, how many of you guys on the call right now believe that maybe you lack a little credibility? Give me a 5 in the chat right now if you believe that, if I'm reaching out to a business and I'm telling them, hey, I found something on your Google business profile that you may need to look at, they might see you as, maybe you might feel you're an imposter, or go with that imposter, or maybe you feel like you don't have the credibility that they're actually going to pay attention to you. Give me a 5 in the chat right now. I'm going to take a sip of water as the 5s come in, right? Brent, Matt, Robert. Great. So Kip, like a lot of you guys, right? And this is what I found, right? I can go find you the lead. I can go find you the ability to get their phone number, and you can even text them, right? But when it comes down to it, a lot of folks, they feel that like maybe they lack that credibility. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you instant credibility in under 60 seconds that you can do right now while we're on this call or right after this, okay? So I'm going to give you a little instant credibility hack that we found works amazing with this process. So you are 60 seconds from instant credibility, because what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to Google how to be a Google local guide. You can register to be a local guide, right? If you have to have a valid Google account, make sure you meet the age requirements in your country, which everybody on this call should, and then sign up for the program on the little purple box that I just said, click on here. Now, you have the ability now to go through this process. You can see where I was already logged into my Gmail account. I can go through here and I just typed in my city, Cabo San Lucas. I agreed to their terms and to get their updates. I was able to become a program messenger. And by doing that, they instantly approve me, allow me to start contributing, and I can use it in my messaging, right? Yeah, brilliant, right? Absolutely. And I'm now anchoring myself to the authority that I am a Google local guide, right? Because I've now been welcomed to Google local guides when I'm reaching out to that business to let them know that I'm a Google local guide member. I'm not saying that I'm an expert. I'm not saying that I work for Google, anything like that, but that leads to some instant credibility with them. And you can see that this is a map of my local area where the marina is. I can use this to gain instant credibility as a Google local guide member. Now, to do this, you want to do it in a very, very specific way. So do you guys want to see the exact outreach message that we use that is getting us these 25, 30, 40% results in the reply rates from these businesses in under 30 minutes? Yeah, Matt just typed in yes. I didn't even ask. Just give me a yes in the chat right now if you guys want to see the exact messages that we use in a non-threatening outreach, right? I call it my IMO outreach. Right now you guys are awake, right? Everybody wants to see this message. Anybody on this call can do it. And I'm going to give credit to Jay Dunbar for this, because he's the one, I think he actually probably on the call, that actually came up with this message when we were using this and testing it. This is a very non-threatening outreach, right? Very simple. IMO. And it doesn't stand for in my opinion. It's initial, make, and offer, okay? So the initial outreach message is this. Is this the right contact info for the name of the business that you are talking to, right? And you're going to get the reply, in this case, yes. Then your next step here is to make them aware, right? Initial outreach, make them aware. So, hey, you can see Jay here, I'm a Google local guide, and notice that you have missing deficiencies in your business. Doesn't matter, there's other things, we have templates that you guys can use, right? offer them a solution to the problem, and then you book the call. Simple, right? You're coming from a position of authority and credibility while leading with reciprocity, right? Does that make sense, everybody? Yeah, right? It should, because you're going through a very simple process where you're helping benefit that business owner. You're reaching out to them. You know there's a deficiency. You're reaching out to their mobile device. You're showing them this. And now when you reach out with credible outreach, it gets results. As you guys can see here, 25 to 35% of outreach gets us a response. And we've seen this upwards of up to 40% of folks are setting this up as we go through this process and respond back to us to have that conversation to move them to fill the funnel to get them through that process. So how do we do this at scale though, right? Like you don't want to be doing this one-off and doing the research all day. So we're showing you guys how to leverage automation for pinpoint accuracy so that you're basically finding a contact and contacting the leads just like a sniper, right? So if I go out there and look for HVAC companies in Houston, Texas, you can go through and you can do this manually. You can have a spreadsheet. You can probably have like 10 people. It could probably take several hours, if not an entire day, to generate this lead list, right? That we're doing in just minutes, right? By using and leveraging automation, it greatly cuts down on the average amount of time spent daily. And in this case, we generated nearly 500 leads, 482 leads in under 10 minutes. Now, you can't go out there and you can't quickly build this list, right? Because what's happening if you're going through all this process, this could take hours, if not days, for a team to do as you go through. But I only want to talk to the folks that have a mobile phone, right? I want to filter out. I want to filter out and find my targeted leads. I'm not just spraying and praying. I'm finding the individual ones that I want to send my sniper message to, all right? 108 targeted results in this locale are missing information from their Google business profile, and they have a mobile phone. If you're going to do this and just cold call all day long, you're not even going to call 100 businesses, right? You're going to get worn out. And how many appointments do you think you're going to book? Maybe 1, 2, if you're really good, 5 to 10. Like, think about this. We have 108 targeted results I can send a message to like a sniper, one by one, knowing that there's deficiency in their business, and I can reach out, right? You're probably wondering, well, great, like I can do this all manually, I can set this up, but I don't want to do it. How fast does this really work, right? We're going to show you a timeline from earlier this week, just 48 hours ago, that we were running this process in real time and how quickly you can get a response. Remember, at the beginning of this call, we talked about how to get 3 replies in under 30 minutes of effort per day. So here's how you're going to get targeted leads. Now, Joe's going to come back out here in just a little bit and walk you guys through how he did this. But the Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., he grabbed a cup of coffee and started 2 prospecting jobs in the software, right? We're going to show how this works in under a 30-minute timeline. Now, took a couple of sips of coffee, his job ran, he got the list back, checked a couple emails, and then decided to start his campaigns. Boom, blast off, started running his outreach campaigns, right? His local lead sniper campaigns. You can see he started at 10 a.m. At 10:09 a.m., he logged into the software after checking his emails, having a couple sips of coffee, and he's already getting responses, right? He had about a half dozen responses, a handful of responses within the first 9 minutes. So at 10:09 a.m., we've got our first response, right? Opened his inbox, all those new opportunities that are sitting in there. Just a couple minutes later at, I don't know, is it 10:10, 10:11 a.m., right? He's having the conversation with those folks. 2 minutes later, he's got his first appointment booked, right? Joe wakes up, has a cup of coffee, checks his email, hits run on the software. In less than a dozen minutes, has already booked his first appointment. Comes back in, looks again, another 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, you see that he's having a little bit of a conversation with this business owner, sending the exact messaging that we talked about. And by 10:27 a.m., he's got his second appointment booked, right? We talked about this in under 30 minutes a day. You're going to be getting responses. Joe's getting responses in under 30 minutes, right? We just talked about getting the leads with the effort. He's already getting responses within that 30-minute window. Now, there's some really cool things that we can do inside the software to really get those responses really quickly. So, Joe, I'm going to hand it over to you real quick, and then I'm going to have you walk everybody through the software and what you did and how you're able to make this work.
Perfect. So can everybody just confirm, since I took over the screen, that you can see the screen and you're You can hear me okay? Just give me a 3, that would be great. And I'll show you guys around the software here. All right, perfect. Bunch of 3s, fantastic. Thank you guys. All right, so first things first, I want you guys to notice that we understated the title of this webinar, right? We talked about having, 3 conversations, 3 prospects, right? In 30 minutes to an hour a day, right? You guys can see just on Tuesday, right? Me running the software for 30 minutes, right? And I booked 2 appointments, right? I had 2 actual sales calls from that. So when you log into the software here, the first thing that you're going to see is just some overview stats, right? What's happened over the last 7 days, what's happened over the last 14, and what's happened total. You'll even see that we break it down by the type of phone number, right? So mobile numbers, VoIP numbers, and landline. It's been interesting to test this, and mobile's definitely the best. There's still opportunities and can be worth it though in VoIP, and we don't send to landlines and wouldn't suggest that you guys do. But I want to point out one thing here, and I know the screen's kind of small, you might have to squint, sorry about that, but what's the response here? What's the response rate here in the last 7 days, right? 65% and 30 responses. What percentage is that? 50? 45? 46% response rate. That's impressive, right? So I ran a job earlier, right? Actually, 2 of them right as we were getting ready to start the webinar, and 1 right after the webinar started. And we're going to look at these in a second, but before we do, I just wanted to show you how easy it is to actually run a search. So we're going to run some searches in Phoenix, where Hershey usually is, but not anymore. Well, not PA. We want Phoenix, Arizona. All right, so we're going to run a search in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's think of a niche. Let's do a moving company, and we're going to hit search. And you're going to see it pop down here. You're going to see the jobs pending, and you're going to see we already got 20 leads, right? Boom. Okay. Over here, if you hover over this, it says your job's processing and should be completed within 5 to 10 minutes. So it'll just give you kind of a timeline. And any jobs that are actively running will be over here under new searches. Any jobs that are complete that are already done will be over here under recent searches. All right. So you can see now we got 40 leads, and I'm going to run another one here. Let's go ahead and let's do Phoenix again. Let's do handyman. So we're going to do handyman, Phoenix, Arizona, and let's hit search. Okay, again, started, it's pending. It says 0 leads, started a few seconds ago. And while this is running, 14 leads already. But while this is running, let's look at a completed job, all right? So mobile debt repair I did in Phoenix, all right? So we got all the data here. And as Jeff was talking about, what's really important is how many of these are mobile numbers, right? Like that makes or breaks the system. So what's interesting is you can hit this drop down here at the top and go mobile, and you can see we actually pulled 28 mobile phone numbers, all right? And you can see that all of these say mobile. They got this little SMS icon for you guys to know here, okay? So we also bring back a bunch of information about the business. Here's their website. If you click on it, it'll open it. Right, we also pull in how many reviews they got. We can link straight to their Google Maps listing. Right, we got their category from Google Business Profile. Do they show quote? Do they show chat? We check for you guys automatically with the system. Is their Google Business Profile previously Google My Business? Just hate the new name. Is it claimed? Yes or no? And are they using Google Posts? Yes or no? Okay, so this helps us, again, understand what are the opportunities. Okay, so we're going to outreach with a message talking using the MIMO approach, right? And so we got to be prepared to point out an opportunity at some point, right? But first, we're just going to do the initial outreach. So what's important here before we start doing outreach is how many mobile numbers we got. So I want to point out that the reason why these jobs take a couple of minutes to run and why we say 5 to 10 minutes is because we're not really just running mobile moving company in Phoenix, Arizona as a search. We're running a lot of searches. So here's what happens behind the scenes. When you put in a city, we have a database of all the zip codes in the United States and based on city. So we do a lookup. What are all the zip codes in Phoenix, Arizona? And we actually do a search for moving company, zip code number 1, grab all the data. Moving company, zip code number 2, grab all the data. Moving company, zip code number 3, and literally go to the very end. Does that make sense? Can you see why these jobs would take a little bit longer to run than normal? Give me a 5, right? It's paramount that we are able to get a lot of mobile numbers, and this is how we're able to do that, all right? So now let's do some outreach, right? I want to show you guys how easy this is. So we're going to find somebody again that's using a mobile number, and we're going to reach out using the IMO framework. So we're going to click on one of these that has a mobile number, and it's going to bring up their business, and I can choose from a template. I can send a screenshot of their Google business profile from mobile, from desktop, a competitor screenshot. I can send them an image that I can upload. I can use one of the templates that we got. And so I'm going to go ahead and just use a template here. And we've preloaded a bunch of these in here for you guys. You guys can add your own though, if you guys want. And we'll just go ahead and use my my initial one.initial template that I set up. And what's really cool is this says, is this the right phone number for Saul Paintless Dent Repair? So guys, we automatically dynamically insert the business name with a token here, right? And I just hit send. Okay, so outreach number 1 done. Okay, now I can go to the next one, right? West Valley Wow, it's the next one in the list. Choose template, right? And I can do the same thing. 1 initial, send. And so our job would literally for prospecting be this simple. Choose template, right? 1 initial, send. How many of you guys could do this for prospecting? Like, it doesn't get any easier than that, right? Stupid simple. Well, we took it a little bit further for you guys. So we outreached to these 3 people so far. We made it easy to mass, to multi-snipe is what we call it. So we're going to select all the people that we haven't reached out to with mobile numbers yet. And we're going to go ahead and hit contact selected. We're going to select our template that we want to reach out with, and we can reach out with an image as well, but we're just going to reach out with a text message. And look, check that out, right? So literally we just did outreach to 28 people, okay, in a second. Okay, so if we jump over here to inbox, check this out, guys. We already have responses. We have 2 responses. How long did that take? A couple seconds. Oh, 3 responses, 4 responses.
So we promised 30 minutes a day. You're getting responses in 30 seconds. Imagine that.
Oh, another one. All right, so we're gonna ignore this for a second, and we're just gonna go back to the job that we ran, the other job, and we're gonna do the same thing. So imagine it's 10 a.m., you're drinking your coffee, your job's just got done running, right? You're gonna do your outreach. Outreach is done. Now your job is to spend the next 15 to 20 minutes just manning the inbox. So you got these people replying, yes, this is the right number. All right, so now we need to reach out with an opportunity. So we're gonna choose a template. And I like to reach out to people using the example that Jeff shared with you guys, which is the chat message. And none of these guys, if you saw, were actually running chat. All right, so we're gonna use a message, and we're gonna say Jeff chat was the template I set up. And we're gonna reach out with this template. It's weird, my screen's like auto refreshing for some reason. Jeff chat, send. And then I took a screenshot earlier from one of these listings of an image, and I'm going to send them a copy of the image. Okay, so my job is just to respond to these messages. Oh, we got some more. Guys, we're at 23 prospects, 24 prospects in the last how many seconds? The last how many minutes? Right, so again, all that we're going to do is go Jeff chat. We're going to say send the message. Okay, we're going to then send the picture of the example of a Google business profile with the chat. Okay, and all our job is to go down through here and just to choose the template, right, and send the message. Okay, or you guys can do this in bulk. So we can go through here, we can select all of these, right, and then we go up to the top, actions, reply. Okay, choose your template and send it. Okay, that's how simple your prospecting goes. Okay, last time I ran this campaign was Tuesday, And you guys saw in under 30 minutes, I booked 2 appointments. Give me a 6 in the chat if you guys see how in just 30 minutes a day, you could book 2, 3, 4 appointments before you even get done with your coffee. Okay, guys, 21 in the inbox that I haven't even opened yet, 22. Okay, and that doesn't include the ones that we already clicked in and looked at, which is what, another 3 or 4? 25, 26 prospects in a couple of minutes. I'll take that any day. Okay, now, I hope your guys' minds are blown. Can I get some feedback real quick? Anthony says mind blown. I got a couple of 6s. Give me a 6 if you guys see how this is very different than any other prospecting system out there. And if I get enough people giving me mind blowns and 6s and booms, I'll show you guys how to double your response rate. Wait, did you guys hear that? If I get enough 6s and booms and mind melting, I'll share with you guys how to double your response rate. So you guys can see this is already crazy, right? Like, okay, all right, yeah, chat's going nuts. All right, guys, so get this. So in the inbox here, we got responded, not responded, all, and archived, all right? And you guys can archive messages and stuff, and you can delete them, but check this out. If we go to the not responded tab, these are all the prospects that we've sent messages to that haven't responded. We can then click select all, click actions, click reply, and we can send a follow-up, okay? So in our experience, okay, I have a template in here called non-responder follow-up. I can then send this out, and I'm sending it right now to 73 businesses, and the chat is going to frickin' blow. The chat is going to go nuts, okay? And the secret to the messaging here is very similar to, is this the right number, right? You can see this, it's done, it's sent. Is this still the right phone number for insert business name? This is how you get a crazy response rate. All right, so the inbox is definitely about to blow. And guys, we're already at a response rate of over, what is that, 45% still, 46%. And these responses are gonna continue to come in and go up. You can see the inbox is already at 28. So Jeff, I could go for like another hour talking about the software, how to use it, best practices, but I know that you have a bunch more to share with them. So let's jump back to that, awesome. And then we can always at the end open it up for Q&A.
Awesome, yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna go back to my screen. Should be able to pop up here in a second. Let's try to show my screen here. There it is, it took a second. All right, so that was the demo, right? Like that should be, as Joe just said, mind-blowing, right? I'm not even gonna ask the question because half the, if not 3/4 of the webinar, put in take my card, wow, mind melting, right? So that should have just blown your mind. This is what took 5 months for us to figure out that's not out there, right? You can take these leads, you respond to them, you have the ability to export them and go from there like it was asked, right? So my question to you guys is, who wants early access to local lead sniper, all right? So Joe and I are going to be sending this out to the masses here early next year, right? This is not going to be a public release right now. If you need to be on my list or his list to even know that this thing exists, okay? There's not going to be a bunch of stuff going on through the end of the year. If you want to get a head start on everybody else, right? I want you guys to do me a favor. Got a couple of hell yeahs in there. I'll take that as a yes. Lock in your spot now by typing in sniper in the chat. Because that that'll do is we'll be able to filter out, make sure that you guys typed in sniper in the chat, and we're going to invite you to become a member success story just like Jay, all right? So he's helped us formulate this. He's been behind the scenes. He's running this on a daily basis. Joe and I running it. I've got my mastermind groups and stuff running this as well. Simple messaging gets big results, right? Jay is seeing a 30+% response rate right now. And as you can see, Joe, some of the stuff we're doing is seeing upwards of 40%. Now we guarantee, like, look, we're not going to say you're going to get 40% on everything you send, but you're going to get probably 20 to 35%, right? 20 to 30% should be a good window to shoot for. 30+ is going to be amazing, right? We're going to give you our proven messaging, right? The templates that you saw, those were loaded in, right? The is this messaging, the follow-up messaging. You're seeing real world results, and you can do this in under 30 minutes a day. To do that though, to be a part of this, you gotta type in sniper in the chat, all right? Now, as you see, Jay typed this in for me. I said, hey, just give me a little bit about what you'd say about it. He said, local lead sniper is the best tool he's ever used for cold outreach. I think Joe just proved it to you live on the call. 28 replies, Joe, like live. I'm sure we got more coming in, right? He's getting 30-40% response rates from interested prospects using the multi-snipe technique, using the follow-up, right? So this can truly change the game for your agency. You need to have qualified conversations. We're giving you that ability today, right? We're going to give you early access to local lead sniper. You will get a head start before anybody else in the marketplace sees it. We're going to offer you a special bundle package, right? Again, this is not publicly available. We are going to include in this bundle package every possible upgrade that is available in this tool right now. I'm going to talk about what that is when you activate today. You will save over 50% today on what the cost of the software will be at the release and include every possible upgrade. Now, what are those upgrades, right? There's a few things we haven't quite shown you yet in the software that you're going to have access to, all right? How would you like to have competitive analysis and to put it right there in front of them on their mobile phone, right? You're going to get our unlimited prospecting pack. You're going to get a full image credits upgrade to unlimited credits, right? So we have already built in a reputation and a Google analysis image that shows them, and you can compare them to a competitor in the local area. Hit that pain point just a little bit deeper, and you can also create your own images. I don't recommend it. Use the ones that we've got. These two work perfectly, but you can go in there, you can create your own as well. When Joe and I release this to the marketplace, this will have a monthly upgrade. You have to pay for this feature alone. Monthly across the entire year will be more than the cost of what we're going to release the software to today, all right? In addition to that, next week on, I think it's Thursday next week, we're going to do a call at 2 Eastern. We're going to release to you our Done For You marketing pack. This is our professionally designed infographics and images based on reputation and review stats, right? General Google business profile focus images that you can either send via text or follow up via email, right? Help you educate to help close more deals. But if you're having these qualified conversations, you're going to find that you're going to be having dozens of these a day, right? Plus, we're going to include up to five niche focus variations that you guys are going to have access to, plus my proven single page contract that if they ask for one, you can just put this down on paper, have it set up, right? Text these images directly or send them via email in the follow-up. Now, also included, would you guys join us today? And lock in your spot right now by typing in sniper. If you did it once, you're good. But if you haven't, you want to type in sniper in the chat right now, because you're going to also get access to our professional package upgrade. This will unlock the true potential of what you just saw live in front of your eyes, right? We're not going to charge you. This is going to be a one-time charge. When we release this to the public, you're going to get it included with this software release. Our detailed local search, right, like Joe talked about, that allows you to do the multi-snipe outreach, right? The zip code changing, right? Plus the bulk SMS messaging for the initial outreach. It was cool that Joe was able to click and say, send initial message one, but you want to be able to do that at volume, at bulk, right? You want to have 28 people that you need to be replying to, like you see live on this call, bulk SMS messaging and follow-ups. Also the follow-ups. Hey, I have 75 people that didn't reply to me a couple hours ago or earlier today or yesterday. 1 p.m. I'm going to send out my follow-up and see who else I can catch on their lunch break to reply to me, right? Or maybe at the end of the day. We'll also include all of our done for you proven outreach templates to include the is this template, is this still this, and then all the other ones that we've shown you guys that are already in the software so that you can have the same multi-snipe results that we're getting, right? We will instantly cut your prospecting time to less than half. It's probably going to be like down to 5% of what it used to be. 95% of we're going to wind up cutting. We'll say less than half. To be fair, we like to under promise and over deliver. As you guys saw, Jay, Joe, myself, all the other testers in the software doubled our response rate by sending that bulk follow-up. You're going to have access to that, and you will be able to set 2 appointments like Joe did with only 30 minutes of effort a day, but realize Joe is doing that in under 30 minutes, right? He had a cup of coffee, like I showed the timeline earlier. Within 27 minutes, he had 2 calls, right? 2 appointments booked, already ready to go. In addition to that, you're going to get access to our 30 days to your first sale program. This will help you jumpstart your agency, help define your initial foot in the door offer, keep you on the path to your first sale. most of you guys should already have this kind of stuff, but we want to make sure that we've got you past that. And we're going to do a jumpstart webinar with everybody next Thursday for the entire group of all the new members. We're going to walk you guys through it. It will be recorded and posted in the members area. You got to be a part of that by typing in sniper in the chat. We'll also, when we do this call, give you some over-the-shoulder training and some results-based updates. We have been tweaking and updating the software for the last 2 weeks with all the new folks that we've got bringing in from our groups, and we've made some really powerful updates. So you're seeing, like, I was not expecting the results that we just saw. I was expecting a trickle, right? 3, 4, 5, impress you guys. I'm blown away with 2 dozen, 3 dozen results in under 3 minutes. I mean, that should be mind-blowing to every single person on this call. You'll get that when you type in sniper in the chat. Now, Joe, I'm going to have you release the link to everybody, because we're going to invite everybody right now to become a local lead sniper at localleadsniper.com/deal. I'm going to actually close down my screen for a second. I'm going to pull up the page for you and show you what it looks like. All right. When you go to localleadsniper.com/deal, Joe just put in the chat for everybody, right? You just put in your information. You can see I'm currently living in Mexico. Put in the US for those in the US. But you're going to get $297 for the year. Everything that we just included, right? Access to the software, the monthly upgrade, the one-time upgrade, all of that for a year. And then after 365 days, you'll rebill at just $67 each year after that. That deal alone should be mind-blowing. Like I talked about, the monthly upgrade alone is costing you more when we release this to the public than the entire package right now today that's sitting in front of you. And we will lock you in at $67 a year after that for the rebill every 365 days. You'll get access to everything that we just included for you guys live on the call, right? But to do that, you got to go to localleadsniper.com/deal to be a part of this group. And I've got hundreds of you that have typed in sniper, where I have to keep scrolling as we go through. And we've got some common questions, things that we go through, like, hey, can we give a VA a login? Right now, there's no like team login. You would just give them your login as well, set up, and then you are going to be connecting your own Twilio account for this. You'll also be connecting your own Google Maps API account, right? Because you're going to be using those for yourself. They give you a $200 a month credit that you can use for your searches. But I'm talking if you actually go in and you send out these messages, if you're getting even a fraction of what Joe just got live on the call every day, you're going to be having qualified conversations, and you're going to be talking to business owners and closing those deals. Now, Joe, I moved you off. I was tired of you pointing at me in the other slide, so I moved you over to the left of this one. We're going to do a live Q&A session with Joe and I right now. But while we're doing that, be one of the first to get in at localleadsniper.com/deal. When you do that, you're going to get instant access to the software. All right, you're going to unlock right there on the spot the unlimited prospecting image pack. Next Thursday, when we do our call, we're going to release to you the done for you authority info pack. You don't really need that to get this thing running, so we're going to give it to you on Thursday with the training. We'll also release all the training, and we'll do that live call. But we'll also unlock right now, when you purchase the professional package upgrade, you'll have the multi-snipe feature, right? You'll have the bulk messaging feature of all of our templates, plus the unlimited images already ready to go in the software for you. And when we do that call next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, you'll be in on everything. We're going to walk you through anything else that we've included over the last week. And you've got only a few days to get in on this, right? Just through the weekend is probably when I'm going to release this. And then we're going to close it down, because we only want a focus group in the software that's going to be using it, and we're going to train you on it next Thursday. Now, it's super simple. You'll be up and running really quick. You can be running your leads in the next 10 minutes, but we're going to walk you guys through this next week when you go to localleadsniper.com/deal. And if you have any issues, down at the bottom, help@localleadsniper.com. I had somebody type in the wrong URL earlier, and they went to the wrong box, but help@localleadsniper.com. If you run into any issues or things like that, let them know that you're a sniper, you want in, and we'll help walk you through any processes that you have, if you have anything from there. And even in the application, there's going to be a little widget. If you need a little help, put it in there. We'll be able to go from there. So, Joe, what questions have we gotten in? I know I've been staring at the screen for a little while here that we need to go through, or any common FAQs that that I missed that we need to cover.
I think a couple things. I'm going to take this screen real fast, and I'll be quick, and I'll pass it back to you. But I think that there's a couple things that are important here. So first is that just a little update, guys, right? We're at 71 total responses last 7 days. So we're over over a 50% response rate. And I couldn't help but click on inbox a couple of times. So the number is higher than this, but these are just the unread messages. We're at 38. And you can see what I mean here. As I refreshed, I started reading the numbers. So we have generated, right, just since I gave the controls back to Hershey, another 12 leads have responded. So the other thing I wanted to share is when you log in for the first time, this is what you guys are going to see. Okay, so Jeff talked about this a little bit, but the system runs on a couple of different integrations. We don't charge you guys more for these integrations. We let you guys bring your own accounts. Okay, so you're getting everything for wholesale, and instead of us upcharging it like you guys know a lot of other softwares do, right? So you're gonna plug in your Twilio account, and Twilio is used to send the messages, right? Send and receive messages. That's how the inbox works. That's how you're able to send the messages. But Twilio also has a secondary function, and that's doing the lookup on the phone numbers, all right? So the phone number lookup through Twilio works in the United States only. So we actually added just this week SignalWire as well, and they integrate in a bunch of other countries for you guys. So if you're wondering, does this work outside the US? Yes, it does. Does it work in your country? Most likely, I would say. But at the end of the day, you can always be prospecting in North America, and that will work, all right? So then to get your leads list, right, you can either use Google Maps or ValueSerp, okay? And so these are two providers that you guys can use that pull in the data for you. I'd recommend you start with Google Maps. As Jeff said, when you sign up for this, and this is a link right here to sign up, when you sign up for this, they're going to give you $200 in monthly credit. So if you're prospecting like I did, and let's say you're doing it every day, you're spending a half an hour every day, you should never go over that $200 a month in free credit from Google Maps. Okay, so it's basically free. Okay, if you get like your whole team in here and every person, you got 10 people and every person is running, 10 jobs a day, then you probably want to switch over to this one. Okay, but those are the settings. That's what you need to know. And I was getting a ton of questions about that. Your SMS templates are set here, right? If you guys take a look at these, really simple. There's a bunch of different tokens that you guys can use as well that will dynamically insert the business information. So business name, rating, the number of reviews, the phone number type, the carrier, the address, the website, and a whole lot more. And so Jeff, those were some of the big things I found. Notifications is a great feature. I like turning the notifications feature on when I'm done. When I walk away for the day, right? So it's 10:30, I'm done prospecting in the morning, I'll turn this on. So I'll get a notification when I need to go respond to a lead, or you could put in your VA's phone number. And what's great is when you get this text message, it'll tell you, such and such business has responded to you, and it'll give you a link. And when you click on that link, it'll take you directly back to the inbox for you to respond to that person. So Jeff, I think those are the kind of the big 3 or 4 things that I kept seeing pop up.
Awesome. Those are all key factors that you guys, these are huge things that we've learned or have put in the software based on our own use cases, right? Or requests from our customers. You're going to get all of that when you go to localleadsniper.com/deal. Somebody just asked the question, we're like, what are you trying to sell, right? We're going to cover that on Thursday of some of the opportunities that you have, but we're selling them how to boost their reviews, how to get more, or boost their ratings, get more reviews, how to fix some of the Google profile things, how to get a chat button or get a quote button, add the chat button. There's things that you can offer. We'll talk about that on Thursday as we go through, right? You can use this for other services. Robert, this is a lead sniper, right? You can use this for any service that you want from there. Sean, nope, there will be after the weekend, it'll be open for you guys. It is very easy to create new messages, Eva. Matter of fact, you can do it really quick. Telly, we have folks in Canada that are using this. That's what some of the alternative sources are as well. And then TR will talk about services on Thursday when we do this, right? Yes, William, you typed in sniper in the right spot. Julie, what's going on? We talked about VA logins as well. We talked about the outreach and being able to put in your own tool list. There are no limits for there. Could this be used for other offers? Yeah, Mike, we're not limited. You can offer whatever you want, right? Like, it's up to you. Our goal is to get you responses and get you calls, which clearly we're able to do. And that's the power of this, right? You can do whatever you want once they respond from there. Cool. All right. There you go. Get in. So keep half.
Jeff, I got one here.
Yep.
I got one here. Like, if somebody's reaching out and saying, like, I'm local, like in that text message, I'm from Phoenix. Somebody's asking, like, can they only do it in their local area, or can they outreach everywhere?
You outreach anywhere. Why would you limit yourself to your local area? Now, does it help your sales conversation if you're like, hey, I'm also in X? Yeah, right. But I would say I'm a Google local guy that works in this area. There you go, right? Or I've been assigned to the Phoenix area. That allows you to say, hey, look, we're currently working in Phoenix. That is acceptable in my mind of having the conversation of, hey, look, we're not local to you, but we're working in the Phoenix area with local businesses. I'm a local guide member, right? That allows you to have that conversation. Cool. All right. How much do you charge customer? Well, Michael, it depends on what you're offering them, right? We'll talk about that on Thursday. And then we get this question every time. You cannot import a list into the software. It's going to generate and send it out. We're trying to identify and snipe. We will not allow this to be a mass broadcast tool out the gate, right? That's not what this is for. All right. What niche is this best for? It depends on the vertical you're in. We've had this work at 2 dozen niches already. Some niches have less mobile phones than others. So you'll find the ones that, maybe we'll talk a little bit about that on Thursday, but there's some ones that, they're smaller operations or not big corporations. Those are the ones that tend to have the mobile phone in the Google profile, right? You actually select the number for your Twilio account for the broadcast that goes out. Antonio, if you want to export those and put them into somewhere else, good to go. And then Matt says I'm in, woohoo. So here, let's do a favor. If you guys are in, give me the I'm in the chat, or give me an in the chat right now, so that we know that you guys are in and you're going to be using this from there. So Destin, you got a what's up from Mark. Well, all right, additional cost for Twilio. Yep, we talked about that. Give me the I'm in the chat, right? Michael, we talked about first sale. Another I'm in. My estimate is we have 2 initial outreach and 12 responses. Mark, for right now, those are the ones that we're using. We're using the is this still. But if there's ones that are in there, we'll add them. Those are the ones that are working for us best right now. And I gave like 12 responses to put into the system based on variations of who you should be working with. So the one that we've actually seen work the best, Jay came up with this. It wasn't even Joe or myself. Was the is this or is this still this business? And it worked out well. One of his responses was literally just a question mark. And I'm like, we got a ton of replies from that one from there. So cool. Yeah, Michael, you can use it for ERTC, right? Now we can't necessarily know if that business has it or not, but you can reach out and ask the business owner and then educate them on your products or services from there. It is on the cloud, right? It is not downloaded to your computer from there. Yep. So what's up? Only way that leads kept. So we have Google Maps. What was the second one, Joe? The one you were able to connect to as well for that second source outside of Google Maps. I forget what it was called.
Yeah, it's called Value Serp.
Value Serp. There you go. And you guys get all the upgrades when you purchase. It's already unlocked in the special order link when you guys get it. I'm telling you, if you don't get it now, and you see this in, call it 2-3 months from now, or whenever we decide that it's ready for the public, that we're going to put it out in volume, you are going to see that, and you're going to be kicking yourself when you find out that just the monthly upgrade alone to get the prospecting images is more than the cost of getting this software for the entire year. Or the upgrade pack, if you want to do the professional multi-snipe upgrade, add those two together and you're going to be probably double that's just what the cost of what we're giving this to you for the first year is the deal. And then obviously $67 a month after that, right? You can do this for other businesses. Yeah, it's up to you from there. And yes, this is the cloud-based as well. So awesome. Joe, before we wrap this up, I think we got all the common questions, FAQs. I answered anyone else in the chat. Guys, for you, if you have any questions, help@localleadsniper.com or go to localleadsniper.com/deal right now. Take advantage of this. It's over 50% off the cost. We're not joking around on this. Joe and I take lead gen very seriously. When I started talking about the localizer lead tool we were doing, Joe got super excited. We kind of, got this bro moment. We were talking about a bunch of stuff, and like this thing just came to fruition. And I gave him some ideas, and boom, we were testing it from there. And this is what you guys have. This is the culmination of 5 months of a lot of work, a lot of trial and error to make sure that you guys have responses within a little bit, right? Not 30, we wanted you to be able to prospect for less than 30 minutes a day. Everybody has 30 minutes somewhere in their day, but we built a monster of a software that gets you results in under 3 minutes, right? We're never going to promise that in a tagline, but you saw it live on the call. 24 replies in under 3 minutes. You couldn't dial a phone fast enough. You couldn't send a message fast enough to get the replies that we're getting here, right? If you have the ability to get access to this, if you run an agency of any way, shape, or form, this needs to be your lead gen tool, hands down, no question about it. If you're on my list and you don't have this tool, you're probably screwed up in my mind, because this is going to get you in front of business owners every single day. Have a cup of coffee, do the Joe's Cup of Joe program, right? Have a cup of coffee, run 2 jobs, take a couple sips, start running your multi-site outreach, go check your email, come back in 15 minutes, and boom, you're going to have multiple people to talk to, right? That's how easy this really is. So, Joe, anything you want to say before we wrap this up with the group?
I think, yeah, 2 things real quick. So somebody was asking how much is Twilio. So if you're not familiar, Twilio is dirt cheap, right? You're going to pay $1 for your phone number, right? To have that to be able to send from, right? To send a message is like quite literally less than a penny. It's 0.0079 cents. And that's the start. And if you start sending a boatload of messages, it's even cheaper, right? So like that shouldn't really be a concern. If you start sending some images, that's like 2 cents an image to send. But again, it really shouldn't be a concern at all. Just know that it is ultimately very cheap. I think then second, I just wanted to welcome everybody, Jeff. The chat just blew up with all the I'm ins, and I'm looking here in the back end. So Brent, man, welcome. Adrian, Antonio, Barry, Robert, Lloyd, Robert, 2 Roberts, Robert Anson, and Robert Castillo, welcome. See a bunch of you guys here. Local Marketing U, welcome, glad to have you. Nat, Daniel, Tim, Nathan, Sandy, KSQ, Jared, super excited to have each and every one of you guys in and to support you guys, right? Our goal, like Jeff said, is to Q1 of next year at some point to launch this, and it's going to be much more expensive. You guys got everything, right? There are no upgrades for you guys. There are no OTOs. There's not any upsells. You guys are getting everything unlocked, ungated, unlimited use, and we want to turn you guys into, right, just absolute killers, sniping deals right and left between now and our launch in Q1. So we have a bunch of testimonials for the sales page. Like that's our quote unquote ulterior motive. And I think it's a pure one, right? We want to help you guys get some really, really great results with the platform. So when we launch, we just have a wall of testimonials on the sales page, a mile long. So if you need help with prospecting, without a shadow of a doubt, I think that there is no better opportunity than this. In the half an hour, getting a coffee like I do every morning and just sitting here and prospecting, booking multiple appointments a day in 30, 45 minutes. I don't think that there's a better way out there. That's why this is here. And I can't wait to see you guys on the inside.
Awesome, thank you. And Sam said, Sam bought in and said, I missed part of the webinar. So here's what you're gonna get, Sam. I'm gonna make sure it's a little bit bigger here for you guys, so you guys can all see it. You're gonna get, that's a member success story. You get early access to everything, right? Our special bundle package, this is not publicly available. It will never be available at this rate at like a launch type thing. It's gonna come out with a higher price, right? Save over 50% off when you activate. You're gonna get the unlimited prospecting pack, the image credit upgrade, already built-in reputation and Google Analysis. This is already in your back office. There's no secret place you need to go unlock it. It's for Corey, a couple of people that ask, you have it already from there, right? That will be a monthly upgrade. We're going to release a done for you marketing pack on Thursday. And then we're also going to give you guys the professional pack upgrade. This is the true potential of the multi-snipe, the detailed local search, bulk initial SMS outreach, and follow-ups, plus all of our templates, so that you're cutting your prospect time in half. And this is what we use to be able to double our response rate by sending bulk follow-ups from there. Plus, next Thursday, we're going to do a training call with you, and then I'll also release our 30 days to your first sale. And every single person that's on the call will be able to get that when you guys get in. I know somebody said I'm sending this to all my friends right now. We'll keep this open for a couple days, probably after the weekend. I'm sure you're going to see plenty of emails from Joe and myself. But once we close the doors on this, that's it, right? Like you said, our goal is to show this to you on our list, get you in here. Next week, the week after, start asking you how your results were, and then go from there, right? That's going to be our job from there. Support email. All right, so Cornell, looks like you may have the wrong email, but it's help@localleadsniper.com, and we'll have Joe check that after this. But if you guys have any other issues with that, let us know, or get into the application itself, and there's a little support tab is in the bottom as well. Sam said super excited from there. So Joe and I are super excited to have each and every one of you guys on the call. This is your last chance. Go to localleadsniper.com/deal. Don't miss out on this. Do not sleep on this, because as you saw, you're getting results in just minutes, right? This will accelerate the number of contacts and meaningful conversations you have with a business owner. You're showing up with reciprocity. You're showing up with authority. You have a solution to their problem, and they're going to want to talk to you about it. Now you have the ability to get your foot in the door, sell them the initial service, maybe even do it for a low cost, and then upsell them and ascend them up the purchase ladder, because you've come from a position of authority and credibility. So with that being said, we'll send out a replay to you guys as soon as possible. You guys will have it no later than tomorrow from there. And then a lot of people say, hey, I got on late. Where's the replay? We'll send it out to you guys as soon as we get it up. We'll probably send the email out later this afternoon as well. Destin will send it after dinner time, and then we'll be sending out all the updates from there. So Warren, everybody else who joined us, Joe, thank you so much for being a part of this with me. Like, dude, I don't think we've ever done something this powerful together. We've helped change a lot of people's lives going back and forth. We've done really great stuff with the mastermind, but I think this might be our greatest thing that we've done together.
100%, man. 100%. Completely agree. I think, like I said, from the very beginning, you gave me this mesmerizing idea, and it's been a crazy journey, over the last 4.5, nearly 5 months now to get this thing live. But you guys can see the results, right? It was completely worth it. All the blood, sweat, and tears, right? All the man hours going back and forth, beta testing it, working with Jay, working with the team of beta testers. And I just wanted to say, thanks everybody. It's a pleasure. We're super excited to have you in. I saw Adrian just came in, Patricia, Sam, Wesley, and Edgar. We'll see you guys on the inside.
Awesome. And somebody that says empty field, previous questions, just type it in the chat and support. We'll get back to you on them, and we'll make sure that we didn't miss anything. Obviously, we're trying to cover every single one, but I don't have it, so we'll be able to answer to you inside of the support desk. So with that being said, take care. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you guys on the inside. Take care.